Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to A Taste of BPCC. I'm your host, Sydney Parker, and here with me is Chef Will, and we are going to be scaling a fish.
We're going to be filleting a redfish.
Yeah.
Normally, there's several different ways you can prepare this when you get ready to cook it. You can eat the skin, but in order to eat the skin, you have to scale it. If you're scaling the whole fish, normally just use a cheese grater, but that takes a long time and it's really nasty work. So we're just going to demonstrate a little bit. You go hold it by the tail and go against the scales, and you'll see how they pop off.
Wow. I've never seen anyone scale a fish, so this is very interesting. So this is a redfish.
Yeah. Where
did you find this fish?
They were actually bought from a fish market here in town, but they're a saltwater fish. Come out of the Gulf more than likely. But then you can tell, like here, it's real coarse and hard. Here, once you get the scales off, it's very smooth and a lot more elastic. So it'll be a whole lot easier too. You could lay it over in a pan and sear it, and then your blackened redfish a lot of times has the skin on the backside of it. So, but then you do that whole thing all the way down the fish. You know, like I said, normally you just do it with the cheese grater because it gets a lot more off at a time. So then you got your back fin that runs all the way down the back of the fish.
Oh my gosh.
You want to start on top of it, and then make your incision.
Is it kind of like hard to get the knife through there?
Not really. I mean, if you have a sharp knife, you want to make sure before you're cleaning the fish that your knives are properly sharpened. And you make your incision, and you'll feel the knife running along the bones. And you just
So the scales are popping off when you do that?
Yeah, it's gonna happen. And you just bring it along, and you can see once I get up here where I get more of the meat off of it, you can see the rib bones and how, and that's what you want to do. You just want your knife, you don't want it completely flat, you don't want it up any, you just kind of want it on a little downward angle to where it'll ride along those rib bones. And you can tell if there's any meat that's not coming off of it. And then you want to go down as close as you can to the top of that tail. And then you're just working your way down.
Are you gonna like cut it in two, or are you just gonna open it?
It's already been dressed, and when I say dressed, this means all of the intestines have been cleaned out. They do that at the fish market.
Good.
So once you get down to that point, this side of it will automatically come off, and that's half of the fish is coming off.
Wow.
So
what's your favorite kind of fish to cook and eat?
I love a catfish.
Yeah.
And you just want to go through, and if you're having trouble seeing where the bones are, you can go down and you can feel, and that's where you just want to run that knife along.
I can hear them. I can hear when the knife goes over them.
That's where if you hear that, that's how you know you're doing good. And then once you get to a certain point, you just put your knife all the way through and then bring it to the back
I've ever seen a fish inside like this.
I didn't know you was gonna be running into this tight when you signed up for.
I didn't. I got really scared when I walked in and saw this fish. But I'm excited. I like don't go fishing or anything, so I don't know anything about fish.
Alrighty.
Wow.
And then all of this right here is just fat and some of the smaller rib bones that wasn't able, what we call pin bones. So what you're gonna do is you just take this, take your knife and just cut back around here.
So we're gonna fillet it?
We're gonna fillet the other side.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and so if we had scaled this whole side, what we would do then to prepare it is just have some oil in your pan or whatever, and just start with your skin side down first. Get a good sear on it, and then prepare from there. So this is just right. Chunk that over there, and then we go to the other side, which is the same thing we did on the other. Start at the top.
Cut.
You just go in.
Down it.
Down it.
Like I don't have the strength to do this.
Well, I mean, and it's just like anything else in life. Practice makes perfect. You're not going to be the greatest, fish filleter the first time you do it. But the more you do it, the better off the better at it you'll be.
You gotta be really gentle, I feel like.
Well, it's just long, slow strokes. And you can hear that knife sliding across the rib bones.
I can. That sounds creepy. It looks pretty good though, I'm not gonna lie. How long does it take to fillet a fish?
If you're good at it, you could probably do this whole fish 15-20 minutes. Depending on your expertise in doing it. It's been a while since I've done one, so it's. Like I said, I don't get to go fishing as often as I'd like.
Are there easier fish to scale?
Yeah, bass.
Oh yeah.
A bass is a real easy fish to clean. It doesn't have a scale on it. It's just kind of a skin.
Yeah.
It has a scale, but the scale is not so big. It's not nowhere near as big as this.
I feel like that one's kind of gross to clean though.
A grouper. We had some grouper in class. They're really easy to clean. I was gonna bring one of them, but we were out. That's what I reached and grabbed for. But
how big is it, a grouper?
A grouper, it's about this size. They can get bigger. You don't see very many redfish very much bigger than this. And just cut down to the tail.
Wow.
And then when you get done, when you have both of your sides taken off your fish, if you hold it up and you look at your ribs on the top, the more transparent that is, that tells how good you did. Because the more you can see through, that means the more meat you got off of it. So as you can see, there's a couple places that are missing meat. So that means I got a good amount of meat off of that fish.
All right, guys, we're gonna reset our work area and take a break. And when we come back, we're gonna fillet the fish.
It's about me.
It's about me.
And me.
And me.
It's about me.
And me.
It's about me.
It's about me.
And me.
It's about me.
It's about you.
Welcome back to A Taste of BPCC. I'm your host, Sydney Parker, back with Chef Will, and now we are going to fillet the fish.
Yes, we're going to fillet the meat off of the skin.
The meat.
So what you'll do is you'll have you some paper towels.
Okay.
You'll start at what was the tail end of the fish, and you just start making a little incision to get a little bit of the meat off of the skin. Once you have that, get it up and get the skin to where you can grab a hold to it with the paper towel. That'll help you get a better grip on. And then you don't want to pull away with the paper towel. You just want to hold firm.
Will it break it?
It won't break it.
Oh.
Did you hear how hard it was to cut through it?
It just looks so like, I don't know, fragile.
And then it's the same concept as it was whenever we were filleting it off of the ribs. You want to hold your knife with a slight downward angle. And then you can pull your meat up to see how it looks. And then if you're leaving, you can tell. It'll be rather easy to tell if you're leaving meat on the skin or not. And then vice versa on the back of the meat. You can look at the back of the meat and see if there's any skin being left on the meat. You just move this and just give yourself room to work.
I feel like that's a lot of meat. Like, it didn't look like there was going to be that much. Wow. How long does it usually take to cook like that much meat?
This much, if it was me, what I would do is I would take, you see there's a little bit of meat left on that side, but that's not much. That's a pretty good cutoff. And then you want to feel right here where you were cutting around these to make sure you don't have any pin bones left in there. You can rub your finger back and forth. And if you feel anything sticking you can pull it out. I think we did pretty good. Don't have anything there.
I feel like I always hear about people choking on fish bones.
They're very easily choked on. If you don't, they're very easily missed.
Yeah.
But what I would do is I just take this, I slice it in half, and then you got two pieces.
Wow.
So you can feed, then you got enough to feed. And then what I would do is you could batter it and fry it. You could put it in a pan and saute it down, it down and oven roast it. You could bake it. There's many different ways you can cook a fish.
I would say fried.
Yeah,
Definitely.
French fries.
All the way. Yeah.
I do believe that's it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Chef Will. This was amazing. Thank you for teaching me so much about fish.
Anytime.
All right, guys. That's all the time we have for you today. I'm your host, Sydney Parker, and we'll be back next week.